Well, guys, it's 4 a.m. and it's time to start driving to Atlanta. I am tired, but hey, I'll see you guys at JordanCon soon. Gotta go pick up Ian on the way first. So, 4 hours from now, I'll pick up Ian. Then another five, I'll be in Atlanta. So, till then. So, welcome to the Will Reads YouTube. We are doing a video together for the first time in forever. Well, we actually do videos every week together, but this is gonna be our first time putting one out to the public in forever. If you're a patron, you can actually.
I wore a shirt for you guys today.
Oh, did you? Did you? Oh, nice. Yeah. So if you are a patron, you get to see Chris shirtless on a weekly basis. But for today, we're going to be talking all about JordanCon. Since it's been like almost a month since JordanCon, we finally got our schedules and act together to record our thoughts and experience of JordanCon. I'll start out by saying this was, I think, all of our first con ever. Like, not just JordanCon, like con.
It was definitely my first.
Yeah, it was definitely my first as well.
Yeah, I went into this having very little to no idea what to expect. I had a little bit from following other people last couple of years on social media, but still kind of going in a blind. So today we are just going to kind of give a recap of the weekend and what our thoughts were, what our favorite moments were, just generally just talk about it. So if you guys want to maybe start out with highlighting some favorite moments and what you liked most about it, or what was new, what was different, what was your first, I guess, impressions, because it's the first con. I'll start there.
Ooh, I guess I'll be a little bit cheesy, and it was the people for me the entire time. There were great parts and great panels about the con itself, but our show started not long before the COVID lockdowns. And then when the COVID lockdowns happened, our little community online grew really big, and we spent a lot of time with other content creators and a lot of huge fans of Wheel of Time. And when I say a lot of time, I mean, you all remember the beginning of the COVID lockdowns. We were just, even when you were working, you weren't working. We spent a lot of time with these people. So became great friends with these people online. There were one or two that I met between then and now, but getting there and putting faces to all these names and just hugs everywhere. And it was so natural, like we were just friends for life sort of thing. It was fantastic. And then still met a lot of new people that haven't listened to our show or haven't been part of our Discord or whatever, but just the community as a whole, it was so friendly. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
that was like the best and weirdest moment at the same time. So like Chanel and I got there after you guys, and when we walk in, it hit me like right away. It was super weird to see somebody that I've never met before wearing our t-shirt. That somebody had the Floaties of all, like the Floaties t-shirt. Like the very first thing that we put out pretty much was on somebody's chest. And I'm looking, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and he just kind of like, hey, that stares hard. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep walking. And then all of a sudden I get jumped by like all these people, like, oh my God, it's Chris. Hey Chris, that must be Chanel. Chanel. I was like, oh my goodness, where am I and what is happening here? But I'd have to agree with you, Ian. It really was the people that make the experience, because I've been to events before. I've been in places where they're selling books or they're talking about important things, but to go into meeting a group of like comrades, people who are in this for the exact same reason you are, the enjoyment of reading Jordan's novels. And then not only that, but they're kind of like celebrating just like the last few years with us. Last couple. Yeah. I haven't been a few yet, but it's coming. But like for people to sit there and chat with you and talk about the experiences that you went through beyond the book. I mean, we had great conversation about the book as far as they would be willing to talk to us
without spoiling us.
Without spoiling us.
And people were great about that.
Yeah, I mean, and that was another cool thing. Like everybody kind of knew. it's like we don't want to spoil anything for anybody, not just for us, but for any of the
we got yelled at and kicked out of a couple of rooms sometimes. Like, oh wait, everybody stop! Chris, Ian, get out! They haven't read that book yet. So it was great, but not in a mean way. They were looking out for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeping us
and
from
then
getting spoiled.
yeah, I mean, and to meet some of the authors and everything that were there, and I have 6 new books sitting waiting for me to start reading, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take the time and do 10 pages a day or something through these books and learn about some new people and help them with their ambition. And this is something that all came to being through going to JordanCon. Like, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Alan, I know you have a follow-up question, but I'm going to just keep running with what Chris was saying. I haven't been to a con before. I just assumed everything would be Wheel of Time, Wheel of Time, Wheel of Time. I didn't know what to expect. And I guess maybe I could have looked it up online on what they were having there. But not every panel was Wheel of Time. Obviously, a lot were. But Alan and I went to one on The Expanse, and they also covered Dune. And they just talked about taking fantasy novels to the big screen in general. And it was fantastic. And like what you were saying earlier, Chris, sure, we talked a lot of Wheel of Time with people, but it was the other conversations. I only bought one book, but I promise you I went around, and the tables that had the actual authors there, instead of just representatives selling their books, when the actual author was there, I stopped and talked to each one of them for like 20, 30 minutes, just finding out how they got into it, when they started writing. Basically, all those questions Alan hit us with early on, like what got you into fantasy and da-da-da. And It was just very cool. Not just Wheel of Time, but the whole big picture was awesome.
Agreed.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, for me, obviously getting to the con, not knowing what to expect. And I think we were actually going to our car to get our bags. We just checked in, and the elevator opens up, and there's some of our mods from our moderators from our Discord server just waiting to go up the elevator.
Yeah.
And
you hear bing, the door opens up. It's
like, hey, yeah. It's really cool. People that I've talked to on Zoom and online for years now. Although I had met Jake, Ian and Chris had not. But I had not met Zool, our Delusions, and a couple other these names that you guys might know from the community that were there, and we got to hang out with, which was really super cool. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about as well is give apology to JordanCon itself. Best intentions. I did plan on doing a whole lot more content for this, and I brought down equipment. I had GoPros, I had a voice recorder and a bunch of stuff that I was going to go around and kind of vlog the whole thing. And then we get down there and strap the GoPro on Ian, go to our first panel, get back to the room to check the video, and all the video is corrupted. And I start trying to troubleshoot and realize that my GoPro had kind of gone to crap. And so I had no camera anymore. And then we got the voice recording, but then I realized the battery was dead for that, and I brought the wrong batteries. So
I just meant to be.
It's like it wasn't meant to be. So I was like, I'll just take a bunch of pictures and make Twitter posts at this point. So I started doing a lot of Twitter posts at that point, and trying to get some content out there. But it was definitely a whirlwind too. I mean, you're just being pulled so many different directions. It's tough to because you're there as a fan, and also it's our first time, so it was just very, very a lot going on.
Fire hose.
I was gonna say, let's just be real. If for those individuals at JordanCon, first and foremost, if you've never listened to our podcast, technical difficulty is like our middle name. That is our stick. That's what we do.
Thing.
That is our thing. So,
and it's not that Alan doesn't prepare. Alan can prepare as much as humanly possible, and something's
gonna go wrong. So welcome to our daily. You just got a taste of us. Second, I mean, it's phenomenal that they gave us media passes, and I feel like there should be tiers of expectations when it comes to. I'm serious. When you got 3 people who have never been to JordanCon before, who never had this experience, you should just go ahead and automatically assume that the best you're gonna get. Yeah, I need bottom tier. You're gonna get like 15 pictures. You're gonna get random stuff, but that's the best you're gonna get. And then each year, as you get more acclimated to what happens at JordanCon, then the expectations should increase. I mean, that's what you learn in any job and any educational field. You have to tier things. And right now, we're tier 3, not tier 1. Like,
right. Worst.
Definitely.
dark friend media ever.
Yeah. So some of the things also I just kind of talk, a bit about stuff I learned and stuff that I thought was really cool. I mean, so one thing that I knew was a thing, but I didn't know how big was a thing was these guys, ribbons.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
So, next year I'm definitely going to make our own ribbons. Probably have several different ones, but to hand out and have fun with it. But it's that's definitely was something fun trying to hunt down the ribbons. There's some things you had to do for them. It was a lot of fun. That was just a fun little interactive part of the con. Yeah, there you go. I think Ian got more than I did.
Yeah,
I had to go dig it out.
Yeah. So, but it was a lot of fun doing that, and I learned that the first day is the important day for the ribbons because they go fast, and then everybody's like, I give them all out, I'm done. So definitely,
me and Chanel's would say like we didn't get there till Friday afternoon, so then we saw all the ribbons. We're like, where do we get the ribbons? And everybody's like, yeah, you probably aren't gonna get ribbons this year. So to kind of speak to the ribbons and to just the idea of making these memories. So Chanel and I are getting married this year, as those that listen know. So we have these 2 boxes that I bought about 3 or 4 months in. And so these are like our memory scrap boxes. So then like in our memory scrap box, we have of course put our JordanCon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So here we got our awesome, but just kind of remind us of that moment. Like this is our first con together. Essentially, I mean, you guys have been part of our entire relationship.
Yeah.
We'll continue to be a part of the relationship until we decide that we're no longer a podcast, which is like
we got a couple years still.
we got a while.
I'm stubborn. We're gonna finish this.
Yes, we've got all of our stuff. Like we have our passes, and like this has become a thing. Like we'd already made some decisions before we even left this year's JordanCon. So for those that are listening or get the opportunity to hear, like we're already planning on a first time reader room. And of course, so we want our own, like, and this is something I haven't even said to Alan, but we want our own first time reader little things. The word just left my mind, but anyway, so we can hand them out to the first time readers. It's like, oh, is this your first time around? All right, here you go, put this on your badge, and people know. I want it big, I want it bright, I want it some weird neon color. And by the time we get there next year, Chanel will have probably read through all the books, but by creating the first time reader room, it'll give her a chance to be the person in the room that knows it all, and then kind of have some fun conversation with us and fuck with our minds. So
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that was one thing that I went through before the con, trying to figure out what I was going to do, because there is so much to do. There's so much panels going on during the day and even the evening, the after hour panels that are a lot of fun. I think in total I went to probably 3 panels, even though there's literally tons of them. I think over 50, maybe 100 panels that you could have gone to. And a lot of it was just, there's 2 ways of going about it. Maybe this is like a first time, if you've never been to JordanCon, you're thinking about going, first time, maybe not plan as much and kind of go with the flow. Knowing now what I know, next year I'll probably have a better idea of what I want to do and what I don't want to do. But this time it was like I kind of have an idea, and that kind of went right out the window as soon as we got there. So just something to, for anybody that hasn't been before, to keep in mind. I mean, there's even things that got added last minute, like there's a Texas Hold'em poker tournament. I'm a huge Texas Hold'em poker fan, and I seriously thought about it, and the only reason why I didn't do the tournament was because I was like, it's gonna take too much of my time, and I want to interact with fans of Wheel of Time and also other content creators and different people there. And I felt like if I go to a poker table, I'm gonna take the whole night out away from me, and I'm glad I didn't, because the most memories came from that night, because that was also the same night as the dance party. Saturday night. Also and the dance party. Yeah, the dance party was a whole lot of fun. And I'm not going to get too much into what happened after the dance party, because I think Ian, I won't steal Ian's thunder. But one thing that happened to me that was, I'm going to say my one biggest highlight. Well, it wasn't my biggest one, but one of the biggest ones. Was coming out of the dance party. I was walking out with Vance from Bard of the Red Hand, and we run into Christy, who you might know her. She's been to JordanCon forever and ever and ever. And she's talking to someone. She's like, hey, I want to introduce you to someone. We're like, okay. So Vance and I walk over. It's like, this is Robert Jordan's niece. And we got to have a nice long conversation with her. And she's been coming since the very first one to JordanCon, and talked to her about, growing up with Uncle Robert, I guess, well, James, James Rigney is his real name, but
Too cool.
yeah, it was just really, really a surreal, cool experience to talk to, the closest, I guess, kin that Robert Jordan had. And besides, obviously Harriet, they didn't have children. So it was just a very interesting, experience, picking her brain, talking to her about the con, and sharing that moment also with Vance. Of course, that all went to chaos about 5 minutes later when I something came into the hotel. But anyway, so Ian, what about your favorite moments? Are something that stands out?
Truly, there's many of them. You already hit on the dance party, but obviously the best part was the most unexpected. Coming out of the dance party, dripping with sweat, we were giving it our all and going nuts. And I was like, I need to take a break. So I'm walking out and coming down the lobby near the front entrance, and I look out and I see Alan's face, and he's kind of smiling, but there's like a group of people around him, and they're like looking and pointing and just walking funny. And I'm like, what in the world are they doing? And I look down, and right past my feet, zoop, there goes a blur. I didn't know what it was at that time. I thought it was a rat or something. And I was like, oh my gosh. And half the people in the lobby that saw it screamed bloody murder. The other half thought it was hilarious. And then everybody started cheering, like screaming Badger on the green. And it was like a chaotic circus. I come around the corner, and it's like frozen next to the railing of the ADA ramp in the middle of the lobby. And it was this little baby possum. I mean, like fit in the palm of my hand kind of baby possum.
We couldn't find a badger to let loose in JordanCon, but we brought the possum. So,
Yeah.
the next best we could do.
So it's small enough, it can fit underneath this rail that it's by and go under furniture and everything. And so we're trying to herd it in one direction, and then somebody get ready to catch it. And I knew I wouldn't be quick enough at that point. I had had a drink or two, and it was in the evening. There was no way I was just going to like grab it with my hands. Shoot, I'd be worried about hurting the thing. So I had borrowed a friend of mine's cowboy hat earlier, and I don't even remember that. I was like, haha, I have this hat. I will trap it with this hat. And I went and kind of snuck behind a column and had somebody else chase it towards me, and then got the hat on him and scooped him up. So yeah, captured the possum, and he was terrified. So I held him all close and cute and cuddly, and we're walking him outside to go find a nice place to release him. And it started smelling horrendous all of a sudden. So apparently we literally scared the poop out of him. And it was all over my chest. So that just made the story even better. I wasn't mad. I mean, poor guy, he was terrified. Found a safe place to let him go. And then I walked around the rest of the night giving people 3 guesses to figure out what that brown stain was on my chest. And not one person guessed possum poop. So
no.
I win.
Yeah.
It was pretty fantastic. Just think of all the craziest circus music that you can come up with. And that's literally what happened the moment this thing started running around. And I even looked at, there's security there. There's local law enforcement that's working security. They're watching everything happen. There's the hotel staff. They're watching what happened. And I glance at them as if like, I didn't say anything, but I looked at them like, are y'all going to do anything? And they just looked at me with their arms crossed, and they went, nope, I ain't touching that. I don't get paid for that. So then chaos ensued, and we're just chasing it all over the place. So it was pretty fantastic.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Chanel and I had a little bit different experience. We spent a lot of time with the local merchants, and came out with some pretty cool things. So beyond just the opportunity to get the chance to meet really cool people and some great authors and get some new books, we also ended up with some new merch. Chanel got a couple of necklaces, and we got some really cool bookmarks. Like I found a guy that was taking like silver, creating silver medallions and selling those, and he had one, his favorite character is Perrin.
Awesome.
And so like I found he had a silver Perrin medallion, and I got him to hook up with the lady that was making the bookmarks, because she had a bookmark with a hammer on it
Mhm.
And so she put the two together. So now I have the perfect pair and bookmark. And then
Nice.
I met my friend from Whimsycoat, and now I have my outfit for next JordanCon. So you guys get the sneak peek.
Oh,
As
nice.
I'm wearing my, probably the only thing I'm gonna wear that in a
Yeah.
kid.
Very nice.
Chanel and
Very
I,
nice.
like Chanel actually bought an Aes Sedai ring. Not from there,
Yeah.
but she went and hunted one down, found one,
Okay.
and now
Cool.
she's waiting on her costume for next year. So we are
Okay.
already in the spirit and planning for next year.
Oh, awesome. Very cool. Yeah,
Hey,
that's exciting.
Alan, can I steal a question? I don't know if you have
Sure.
this one yet. So you've danced around this. I know Chanel's not on right now to speak on her behalf, but maybe you could speak for her. It didn't really hit me until we got there and you mentioned it, and Chanel did. She's been a part of our show from the beginning of your relationship, because on our show we talk about personal life, and obviously she's very important to you. You're engaged to her. Like, we went through the whole process of the engagement itself and the who's asking who and how it happened. Like, we got the whole story.
Yeah.
Started
So
dating.
we feel like we know her. I'm sure like people that follow our show feel like they know her, but she knows nothing about anybody. And I know, like, as she walked in, I was like, oh my gosh, Chanel. And I just went up to her and hugged her and everything. And everybody else is doing the same thing. She has this look on her face like, I'm excited, but this is overwhelming. Wow, who are these people? She's like, what was it like for her?
Chanel's an introvert. So
Even better.
Like right away, just getting her to go, she was excited about going, so don't get that twisted at all. But the idea that she'd have to talk to and engage with strangers was kind of threw her for the loop. And I'm like, don't worry, there'll be alcohol, there'll be fun, there'll be food, you know, and if you want, you can always disappear. Like, it's
Right.
not a big deal. And when I tell you, like, she's really upset she's not able to be on. She's, for those that don't know, she's suffering from COVID right now. So she was super excited to be here tonight, and now she's laid up on the couch miserable with the TV turned up way too loud. Anyway, she thrived. Like, Chanel's also a huge lover of fantasy, and she's a big time reader. Like, her favorite the favorite movie that she saw when she was younger was Lord of the Rings, and that like threw her into like the spiral of, I gotta read Harry Potter, gotta Lord of the Rings, gotta do Aragon. Like, she has read all of these fantasy books and seen all the movies, and she even takes it a step further because she loves music. So like, she's memorized music scores, and she knows what, you know, director directed this movie and what composer wrote for the movie. And like, she was probably more excited about the Wheel of Time coming on Prime than I even was. And then when it came to JordanCon, like, I put something on my calendar, and then my calendar sends me reminders, and that's how I live my life.
Yeah.
And she typically forgets everything, so then everything is put on the calendar, and I get reminders. I didn't need the calendar. I did not need the reminder. It was, we got JordanCon coming up in a month. Did we get t-shirts? We got Jordan coming up. Did you order my t-shirt? Do we have shot glasses? Like, do we have? She thoroughly enjoyed the experience. She's all about it. She's the one that recommended the first time reader room after meeting some of the people, because as much of an extrovert as I am, when I'm in uncomfortable situations, I tend to withdraw, and I like to sit back and just watch. And so everybody was like, are you okay? Like, is everything good? Like, are you enjoying yourself? Because my personality here is one full of comfort, because I know you all, and like, boom, I can be me. I don't have to be reserved, but everybody else is a stranger to me, and I didn't know what was what and who was who. So she took the lead. Like, this is the first time she's been the one that's been the outspoken one and really talking with people. Like me, I went up to the random strangers that looked as doughy-eyed as I was and said, hey, who are you and what's up? Which is kind of funny, because everybody I said hi to actually listens to our show, which is really weird, because you're Chris,
or heard of us in some way.
Exactly. That's what freaked me out more. It's like,
throw me for a loop.
I'm like, why do you know me, and why don't I know you? And this is really weird. And it did freak me out just a little bit to have that experience, because normally when I walk in the room, I do know everybody, but I know everybody and everybody knows me. This is totally
different.
A different experience.
It was a fun experience, definitely.
But she had fun. She's ready for next year. She's you know, we're gonna buy a hotel room. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that.
She's probably gonna be done with the books by then. We won't.
She will be.
She
She is literally on chapter 41 right now.
Oh, she's almost caught up.
Oh yeah.
I guess I'll leave with, like, all in all, thank you to all the JordanCon staff. The best part was definitely the friends and getting to hang out with everyone. Better than any of the panels or anything else that happened was just all the friends. The friends we met along the way.
Well,
Yeah.
so before we go, I'm going to take us back to talk about JordanCon itself.
Let's go back real
I
quick.
have to do this. Like, it's just,
Of course. That's it.
I do appreciate how well put together JordanCon was. Like, I really did not know what to expect. I thought we were going to be going to like a conference center. I guess this was, but I thought it'd be like Hampton Coliseum where you have a bunch of rooms kind of lined up. You can kind of go from room to room. I didn't expect like the entire hotel to kind of be to implement like different activities, and then for everything was so well organized. There was no way to necessarily get lost in the sauce. The signage was great, the information was there, the website was put together. If you missed something, it's literally because you did not ask a question or you did not pay attention, because there were people there to help out with everything. And then by incorporating all of the content individuals in the panels and to have them directing other people was genius, because it saves on staffing and it really involves the people that love it. So like, and us just getting the media passes and getting to meet all the people that have been listening to our shows, I mean, that meant a lot to a lot of people. I had people come up to me again who I'd never met that were like, you helped me get through the pandemic, or you have made me believe that love is a thing again. Well, I really like those type of comments.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of that. And then just the like, I'm not normally comfortable with this, but because it's you guys, I'm glad we got to be here.
Yeah.
So I appreciate JordanCon for giving us that opportunity.
Yeah. One way or another, next year, I'm going to be a part of it. So if we do the media thing again, like I'm already thinking maybe Alan should just focus on doing a media portion, but I would want to volunteer in some capacity, even if it's just kind of checking people's badges or something. I still want to be involved. And we've talked about, maybe trying to get on a panel or different ideas we might throw out there, but I don't want to, I enjoyed being the new guy there and experiencing it. But I definitely want to stay and be a part of it somehow. So
it'll be fun.
It left an impression on me.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for JordanCon again, the staff, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Look forward to next year because we are definitely going. So
how soon can we book our rooms? Is it too soon yet?
Exactly. I don't think they're on sale quite yet, but we'll be right away. So I also am going to add a little photo montage to this at the very end. Figure out something.
Got to sneak in at least one possum shot.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be possum shots. So
there you go.
Definitely. So that's all I got. So
until next time.
Peace.
Okay, bye.